Hey guys, this is Tyler Davis with Cross Country Mortgage here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, your local lender, back with another weekly installment of Physically Fit. Today, I wanted to bring this message to you from a space here in Fort Wayne that is really special to me, and I know it is to a lot of other folks here in the community. I'm here in the boot camp room at Triumph Studios here out at Jefferson Point. And what I want to talk to you about today is motivation. But I want to talk to you about an aspect of it that doesn't commonly get discussed. And that is the fact that motivation is a mirage. So what is a mirage? It is something out there that is not really true. And what do I mean by that? So let's talk about three different concepts that I want to discuss as far as motivation being a mirage. And the reason I wanted to come to you from this space is every time I have the blessing and opportunity to lead a class or take a class in this studio, but in this space specifically, I see motivated individuals. I see people that have decided to show up for themselves, for each other, for their family. But really, what is that initial spark that started it? It had to be motivation, right? Motivation, a lot of times, especially in social media, in the world that we live in today, the reason I say it's a mirage is we're watching people's victory laps on a daily basis, but we ourselves are not in the race. So we scroll through and we flip through, or it's a YouTube video or whatever it is that gets you motivated. That's amazing, that truly is, but what are you doing with it? Are you out there running your own race? Are you showing up to a class like here at Triumph in a space like this? Are you out lacing up your shoes and going for a run? Are you working out at home? Are you eating the right foods? Or are you just sitting on the sidelines watching somebody else run their race? And if that is what initially motivates you, that's the whole point of it. But don't let that initial motivation be a mirage. For all the reasons that I'm talking about, you can't celebrate and better yourself by being on the sidelines, watching somebody else run their race. Take your own victory lap. Show up to a class. Do what you got to do. The second thing I want to talk about in regards to motivation being a mirage is the fact that motivation as we know it is a form of entertainment. Back to what I was talking about the YouTube videos that are amazing to get us motivated. We see a champion in football or basketball or golf or whatever sport it is you're into, bodybuilding, CrossFit, whatever it is, we're entertained by them. We sit there on the couch, on the sidelines, again, watching somebody else run their race. We're entertained by it. And if we don't use motivation and these tools that are given to us in the correct way, that's why it's just motivation. You're always on to the next best form of motivation, the next best form of entertainment. So these videos get you hyped up and you get all excited and you're motivated and you come to class for a couple months. But then the motivation wears off because it was a mirage. Then the real work starts. The loyalty, the commitment, the work that you realize you truly have to do, that mirage is left and the reality starts to sink in. You're not entertained anymore. It has become real work. And that's what it's all about. That's why motivation is a form of a spark, which is my third point I want to talk about. Motivation is the initial spark, and that's amazing. That's awesome. Gets your fuse lit, gets you excited about starting something new, but when it's a form of entertainment, you're always on to the next best thing, the next form of entertainment. That's how you have a bunch of undone things. You have a bunch of hobbies that you're sort of into, but you haven't committed to anything. And our own self-preservation and our own self-care is something that you truly have to commit to for long term. It's a lifestyle change, and that term gets thrown around all the time, and that's for another video. But it truly is that. It's figuring out what's sustainable long term. So the fact that it creates that initial spark, that's amazing. But what happens when you try and light a candle when the storm's blowing, when the winds are blowing? You ain't gonna light that candle. You take it in the house where there's no wind, you light the candle. But the moment you step out into some turbulence, into some wind, into some weather, into some trials, into some stuff going on, candle's gonna blow out. You have to have the understanding that the initial motivation, it's like the spark plug in your car. It gets the engine going, but it's not going to sustain it. Not without the fuel, not without the explosion, not without the commitment. The reason your engine in your car stays running is because it is committed to staying running until you tell it to shut off. Far too often I see folks tell themselves to shut off way before they've reached their potential because they're not motivated anymore, because motivation is a mirage. It is the initial spark, and it's so essential. And I love to see people excited about different things, but you have to understand that you have to truly commit. Don't let motivation just be a form of entertainment and move on to the next thing. That's never going to help you reach those long-term goals. So to recap, why is motivation a mirage? It's because we're using it as a form of entertainment, and we're watching other people run their race. We're watching other people's highlight reel, other people's victory laps. And that's amazing. And use that to your advantage as that initial spark. But make sure you understand that motivation is useless without a commitment. Allow yourself to be motivated, but you have to understand that you must commit to whatever it is, whether it's your career, it's your family. Just understand that it takes long-term commitment. Be realistic with your expectations and with yourself. Use motivation for what it is, for what it's supposed to be. But you got to understand what it's not. Long-term commitment is the only way to truly create change. Every time I have the opportunity to teach a class here, I see people investing in themselves. It's the compound effect at work. There are people that I've seen on day one and they still keep showing up. And now to see the strength that they've just taken on themselves, their attitude's better. Yes, their body has slimmed down. They have muscles now. It's so awesome. But that's because they understood in the beginning. They were motivated. They showed up, but then they kept showing up. That's my phrase, man. Keep showing up. It's helped me change my whole life. It's helped me bring a difference to my clients in my mortgage business. It's helped me get sober, and it's helped me connect with so many people like you. So again, this is Tyler Davis with Cross Country Mortgage here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, your local lender, coming to you from the boot camp space here at Triumph Studios. As much as I make my physical fitness a daily priority, I prioritize the health and wellness of my clients and agent partners' mortgage lending experience. I'm always prepared for my next opportunity to help. If you ever want to learn more, I'm here as a resource. You can call, text, or email. And when you're ready to get started, I can be found at loanswithtyler.com.